Welcome to Philippine-Canadian Enquirer's Daily News Roundup, brought to you by CanadianEnquirer.net, your only Filipino-Canadian daily news portal. I'm Rowan Echo, and here are stories making headlines today. Duque defends Aquino admin over dengue vaccine mess. The Aquino administration's move to use Dengvaxia in its dengue vaccination program was an outcome of a wrong recommendation, Health Secretary Francisco Duque III said on Friday at their provincial dengue summit in the city of San Fernando in Pampanga. Duque was quoted as saying in a Balitang Hali's report, quote, "I think this was rushed by the previous administration. They did not wish for it to bring harm and that President Aquino was given a wrong advisory," unquote. However, Duque added that if he was the health chief during that time, he would not have implemented the vaccination program to the 830,000 public school students. Quote, "I always say that if I am the secretary of the DOH before, I would not allow vaccinating such large number of students. It is always good to err on the side of caution. I don't mind erring as long as it's on the safe side, especially that the children's lives are at stake," unquote, Duque said. He also stressed that this problem should serve as a lesson so that it will never happen again. Trudeau fields questions on immigration in Quebec City as tour continues. Canada must do a better job of welcoming newcomers and never forget that diversity is a country's strength, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau told a crowd at his latest town hall event in Quebec City on Thursday. Trudeau fielded a number of questions on immigration and the need to fight intolerance during his stop in the city, which is preparing to commemorate the one-year anniversary of the January 29, 2017 deadly mosque shooting where 6 men were killed. The evening began with a question on how to better integrate immigrants into Canadian society and ended with Trudeau delivering an impassioned speech on the need to fight racism after a woman expressed concern over recent public demonstrations by far-right groups. Quote, "There is much more we need to do as citizens to create neighborhoods, a society, a political debate that is more respectful, less anchored in ignorance and insecurity and intolerance," unquote, he told the several hundred people in a high school gymnasium. Quote, "We all have a role to play," unquote. Trudeau, holding a microphone and with his shirt sleeves rolled up, encouraged Canadians to remember and protect its history as a welcoming society. Quote, "And that is done by remembering that this country built didn't happen by accident and it won't continue without effort," unquote, he said in the nearly 10-minute long speech, which was met by applause. Human Rights Watch says Trump era encourages world's strongmen. Human Rights Watch said Thursday that new intolerance in countries like the U.S. is encouraging oppressive strongmen around the world. In an annual report assessing the state of human rights around the world, the advocacy group says immigrant bashing and other populist policies pose an enormous threat to hard-fought minority rights in democratic countries. The group's director, Kenneth Roth, singled out President Donald Trump, saying he has broken all the taboos against racism, against misogyny, against xenophobia. While Trump's supporters welcome his frank discourse, Roth warns that it has dangerous implications beyond American borders. Trump has this insatiable admiration for strongmen like Presidents Vladimir Putin of Russia, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi of Egypt, or President Rodrigo Duterte of the Philippines, Roth said in an interview with the Associated Press in Paris. Quote, "This makes it much more difficult to stigmatize these authoritarian leaders when Trump says these are great guys," unquote, he said. The report urges democratic governments to address the problems that allowed populism to prosper, such as income inequality, fears of terrorism, and growing migration. Quote, "What the authoritarian populists did is take these legitimate grievances and scapegoat vulnerable minorities to say it's the migrants who are at fault," unquote, Roth said. That wraps up our news here on PCI Daily News Roundup. Thank you for joining us. For more news stories, visit our website at www.canadianenquirer.net.